Chapter 50 Farm 5. While talking, a large earthworm unexpectedly emerged from the soil and slammed into the glass door, startling everyone, causing them to instinctively take 2 steps back. Damn! This thing is way too scary. Damn, this thing looks so disgusting. It's even worse than the flesh-eating worms in Greenhouse 3. The earthworm's head pressed tightly against the glass door, its segmented body clearly visible in circles. It quickly crawled back into the soil. Seeing these earthworms, which had turned aggressive and attacked humans, Jiang Ran furrowed his brows. The evolution of the earthworms on the farm seemed odd, with their aggressiveness being quite intense. At this moment, Rao Meng suddenly asked, "Between Greenhouse 3 and Greenhouse 4, which one do you want to clean up first?" Guo Yu hesitated. "We don't even know how many worms are underground, and at least Greenhouse 3 has visible worms on the surface." "Then let's go for Greenhouse 3. Jiang Ran agreed with Guo Yu's suggestion, and the others nodded in agreement. So, they refocused their efforts on Greenhouse 3. Greenhouse 3 was quite messy, with dead worms scattered all over the ground. The live worms had crawled back into the planting area, continuing to nibble on the remaining green leaves. The only sound inside the greenhouse was the rustling of worms feeding. Counting carefully, there were still at least 100 of these worms. With just these few of them, how could they possibly clean them all? And there were still a dozen more greenhouses ahead. The man with tattooed arms looked up at the cameras and angrily shouted, "Even if you want us to clean this mess up, at least provide us with some tools. Don't you have any pesticides for dealing with these worms?" The man's words were met with agreement from the group. Zhong Cheng chimed in, "Paraquat or dichlorvos should be able to kill these worms. Can you provide us with some?" Soon, a response came from the cameras. "We apologize, all the equipment has been taken in by the teams ahead. According to the monitoring, there is a set of equipment on Greenhouse 9 above Greenhouse 3, and a few other sets are in Greenhouses 5, 10, and 14. If you have any questions, feel free to call us at any time." Jiang Ran then asked, "The real threat isn't just the worms and insects, right? What exactly are we dealing with?" "What? It's not the bugs and worms. Could there be more terrifying evolved creatures than these two?" "Unlikely." Jiang Ran's words left everyone astonished, and even Cheng Tao on the monitor fell silent. They didn't expect the truth to be guessed so quickly. Hesitatingly, he said, "There are indeed other things on the farm, but we're not sure what they are. If you can deal with this trouble, the farm will double your reward." Jiang Ran was skeptical. "The greenhouses are filled with cameras. And you don't know what's inside." A sigh came from the monitors. "Some of the cameras in a few greenhouses are malfunctioning, and we don't know what's inside." The group grew discontent once again. The man with tattooed arms was furious. He looked at the cameras and cursed loudly, "Damn it, why didn't you tell us anything before?" A young man mocked himself, "If they told us everything, would we have come? And we probably would have run faster than anyone." Jiang Ran remained calm, looking at the cameras and continuing, "Since things have been laid out, tell us all the available clues. Keeping things hidden won't help." "All right." Watching Jiang Ran on the IC camera, Cheng Tao was somewhat impressed. This was already the third group, but he was the first calm and capable person. Maybe she could complete the mission. Subsequently, Cheng Tao shared all the existing clues with them. 2 days ago, the camera in Greenhouse 11 was suddenly covered in mist, and then the staff there were attacked by unknown creatures. The safety system of the greenhouse emergency sealed all exits, and none of the staff inside came out. Later, the farm sent 3 capable guards in, but none came out. To avoid further losses, they had to recruit taskers from the outside to venture in, and many died in the process. In fact, these creatures had appeared within the last 24 hours. Before this, the greenhouse had been covered in dense fog, and that thing had been hidden within the fog. Currently, several greenhouses around Greenhouse 11 were still shrouded in fog. The monitors inside were also malfunctioning, so even if they weren't broken, they couldn't see inside. Hearing this, Rao Meng was surprised. When we came, we saw those foggy greenhouses and thought they were using frosted glass. Turns out they were shrouded in mist. Yes, the monitors replied, so, what you need to do now is figure out the cause of the fog and find a way to deal with whatever's inside. But, be careful. The mist contains some special components, so it's best to wear protective gear before entering. Jiang Ran asked, can't the farm's air system vent the fog? Not at the moment. The composition of the fog hasn't been fully analyzed. If we release it into the outside world recklessly, it might affect the safety zone. Looking at the cold camera above, Jiang Ran couldn't help but ask, do the higher UPS in the safety zone know about this? Cheng Tao thought Jiang Ran was an official rescue team member sent by the safety zone, and nodded, yes, they know, but the situation isn't too severe yet. They won't send people over for now. Assuming that Jiang Ran and the others were official safety zone personnel, he continued, although there's no evidence, I believe the evolution of these creatures might be related to the mist. You might not know, but evolutionaries have already emerged in the apocalypse. They have much stronger physiques than ordinary people. Perhaps this is an opportunity for evolution. Cheng Tao dropped the bombshell of information, which piqued the group's interest. Evolutionaries. Is it true? Are you not just making this up to get us into the mist? Jiang Ran responded, understood, we'll keep in touch if we have any questions. Alright, I'll keep monitoring. If you have any issues, the farm will provide assistance promptly. Encountering a capable and calm tasker was rare, and Cheng Tao naturally wanted the mission to be completed in one go. The longer it dragged on, the more complicated things would become. Jiang Ran looked at the group and said, don't get excited. Let's focus on solving the current problem. At his words, the discussion halted, and all eyes turned to Jiang Ran. He continued, we currently have 3 pieces of useful information. First, there are 4 resource points: greenhouses 5, 9, 10, and 14. Second, Greenhouse 11 is where the mist first appeared. It's likely the most dangerous place. Third, greenhouses 5, 10, 12, and 17 around Greenhouse 11 are also covered in mist, equally dangerous, and should not be entered lightly. So, our immediate tasks are to clean up Greenhouse 3 and then get equipment from the nearest Greenhouse 9. Based on previous encounters, these worms won't attack on their own. When we enter the greenhouse, we should clear the worms near the entrance first to prevent accidents when we're retreating. There are quite a number of worms, and we definitely can't clean them all in one go. We'll have to gradually clean them in batches.